Annie Schilling was a stay-at-home mom with 2 daughters for 7 years after leaving a corporate sales and marketing career. 3 years ago, she started making and selling jewelry and other upcycled goodies. Along the way, she met many amazing artists doing amazing things. 6 months ago, Annie and her friend, Marlena Berry, opened a studio featuring vintage goods and the work of more than 20 local artists. The studio has open space for workshops and gatherings. Annie is passionate about reusing, repurposing, and reigniting the creative fire within all of us. Thanks so much for being here, Annie.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about your business and how you came up with the idea?
Yeah, I've been a stay-at-home mom for about 7 years now, and a few years ago, as my kids sort of got out of that baby phase, I started to feel like I wanted to do some things and create some things. Actually, at one point I went to the mall to buy some little initial necklaces that I'd seen some of my friends wear with my daughter's initials. And I was shocked at the price tag. And I thought, I can come up with something that's personal. And so I created these little initial pendants that I found a vintage letter for each one of my daughter's names. And a friend saw it and wanted to buy it. And then another friend saw hers and wanted to buy her. And so I started to make them and sell them for friends and friends of friends. And it just took off. In that process, I met a lot of really interesting artists and moms a lot like me that just felt that need to make some things and to get back out into the world again. And I thought it would be a fun idea to sort of have a hub where we could all come together. We could have a place where we could create and sell the things, as well as having the community around us come and shop with us, be with us, create with us, be inspired by us.
Yeah, so you did bring a couple items from
I
that
did.
you created.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about each one of these?
Yeah, sure. This one is, it's a little purse made out of 2 vintage Nancy Drew books. We have so many customers come in and tell us that they read those books, they have great memories, they bring their daughters in, they share that story with their daughters. Girls, big and little, love bags.
Purses.
Yep. And Nancy Drew is an enduring figure. We also have little belt buckles that have Nancy Drew on them, and those are
cute.
some of our best sellers.
Yeah. So, and then what is the other item that you brought?
This one is a bouquet made out of vintage pins and earrings. There's actually 52 pieces of jewelry in
It's
this.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's intended for a bride, although I have to tell you, I've made several of these just as keepsakes for families. A friend of mine recently came in with this enormous box of jewelry that was her husband's grandma's jewelry. She wanted a bouquet for her family and a bouquet for her father-in-law, just as a keepsake. And they keep it on a shelf.
And you remember it, and every time you see it, you remember who that person
Exactly.
was.
And a bride could use it at her wedding. It contains special pieces of jewelry that were passed down to her. She could pass that on to a future daughter or son's
Such
family.
a great idea.
Yeah, it's really, it's nice to be able to create things that carry that sense of history and family, and it's just really fun to do.
So I also understand that you do workshops.
We do.
And for kids.
We do. We do. We do workshops for kids and birthday parties for kids. They're similar in a lot of ways. We provide a space for kids to come in and craft and create. And in our studio, we have this big rubber floor, and if the kids spill paint, it's not a big deal. It's nice. We come up with all kinds of ideas that work across all different age groups. They can, kids as young as 4 years old have come in and done birthday parties, and then we've gone all the way up into the teens. 15 is the oldest we've done, and everybody has a blast.
Wow, that's such a fun idea.
It's really, really fun.
And you do adult classes as well.
We do. We've started a series of adult workshops, and it's interesting. I find it's the same kind of thing because I think adults don't give themselves permission to make messes and make mistakes and explore.
And even call themselves artists, because I don't consider myself artist, but I think I could probably create something interesting, maybe.
It's not even a question. For sure you could. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. You just have to do it.
Yeah, and let yourself be free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much, Annie, for being on the show.
Well,
I really
thanks for
appreciate all the
having me.
great ideas.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for all you do as well.
Yeah. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm glad you could get to know moms like us.